Say and spell your full name for me.
Stacy, Stacy, Daniels, Daniels.
So Stacy, what all are you involved in on campus?
On campus, I am involved with my fraternity. I'm president of my fraternity. I'm the Goat Side leader. I'm in the University of Montevallo Concert Choir. I sing in the opera ensemble. I've served as an orientation leader and as a maven. I'm involved in NAFME, which is a Association for Collegiate Music Educators, and ACDA, which is a association for collegiate choral music education majors. I think that's it.
uh, why did you come to Montevallo in the first place?
I came to Montevallo for multiple reasons, from scholarships to the validity of the music program and just how well they prepare people in my field for what they plan to do with their life. And I also came because my high school sends a lot of students to this institution. A lot of my teachers in high school went to this university, and a lot of people before me came to this university for music as well as other things.
Okay, let's see what else. What is your major and what do you plan to do with it?
I'm a double major. I am a vocal performance and choral music education major. It's either one of those two. If I decide to use my vocal performance degree right off, I will have to go to graduate school because you have to just get more training in that aspect. But if I decide to go into choral music education, I can go straight into teaching and then do graduate post work after I've taught a few years.
So you said that you were involved in all this stuff on campus. You're a big leader on campus. Has there been any times where you just wanted to give up, or has there been any struggles with that and your school grades? Is it like, how hard is that?
There has never been a point where I wanted to give up. It's a few times where I felt like I've been defeated, but in reality I've not. I have just not fully given myself the credit that I needed to give myself. And by saying that, I mean like I'm a good time manager, I believe, and I just have to pace things out and what needs to happen now, where it can wait if it can. But most importantly, my schoolwork does come first because that's the reason why I'm here. But being in all these activities has made me a more professional person, and I believe that will help me in the real world once I leave college.
Which of these organizations takes up the most of your time?
Definitely my fraternity. It is one of the hardest leadership positions I've ever served, ever. And that's not always bad, but it's just a lot more than I expected it to be because I've always said this multiple times. Being a fraternity or sorority president is different than any other leadership responsibility that you'll have in college. I've been president of multiple other organizations, and this by far is very tedious, but it's very rewarding. I'm learning communication skills. I'm developing my leadership skills, and sometimes it becomes very stressful, but overall, it is a very good learning experience. I'm very appreciative for it.
What's so different and hard about being the fraternity president over everything else that you've been president of?
For the most part, you're dealing with a lot of different personalities. You're dealing with people who don't have the same values or don't have the same opinions as you. You have to try to be an effective leader and try to figure out what's best for your organization and not what's best for individuals. And I also say that you also have to deal with a lot of people outside of your fraternity, from the national headquarters to the Greek life sponsors here at the university. It's a lot of things that goes into it, which you're responsible for, because if that doesn't happen, or if you drop the ball or anything, then you're dropping the ball in your organization. And that doesn't need to happen.
Trying to think. I don't know what else to add. I'm trying to think. Would be some good questions. if you hadn't came to Montevallo, where else would you have gone? Or have you thought about any other place? Before you came here, was there any other places that you wanted to go to?
Um, as a music major, you have to audition to get into the School of Music in addition to applying for the university. I auditioned at 7 schools and it was a very stressful time, but it's something that drawn me to the University of Montevallo from its music program, which I just admired a lot. I came to a lot of events in high school, which just enhanced my decision to come here. I have never thought about maybe if it was maybe I was somewhere else, but currently that I'm here now, I just think it's a great fit for me. It's a small campus, and I definitely want to go to a small school. It's a place where I can get involved. I can remember friends. I just really enjoy it here.
Let's see. You said that you're gold leader. How did you? Was it hard trying to get that position, and what made you want to be gold leader?
College night is a very unique tradition here. Anywhere actually, because this type of tradition happens nowhere else except here. So I think it's a great thing to be a part of. It's a great thing to be involved in. And my how I got to be gold leader is because my involvement in the gold side. I've been trying. I've been helping every aspect of the gold side. Primarily music. My first year I was in the pit chorus. Then the following 2 years I was in the show, and I also served as assistant pit chorus director and vocal coach this past year. So I guess you have to work up to that point where you have the leadership responsibilities in smaller capacities, whereas when you become gold leader, you can manage it all. And I think it just comes with experience and time and just stepping stones that you have to take to achieve being gold leader.
Uh, was there ever a point when you were running for gold leader that you were afraid that you might not get it, or did you assume that you would already have it?
No, I was definitely afraid I wasn't going to get it. My opponent was very popular. He is a very charismatic person who everybody enjoys being around. He gave as much as dedication as I did to the gold side. So if I were to have lost the election as gold side leader, I would feel the side is in good hands because he has just as much spirit as I do, much drive for the gold side to help us achieve a victory, which is our ultimate goal.
You also recently ran for Mr. Montevallo, and you had a runoff election with the purple side leader.
Yeah.
How was that experience for you running, and what made you decide to run for Mr. Montevallo?
Mr. Montevallo, it signifies who Mr. and Mrs. Montevallo has signified who is giving themselves to the university. And all the opponents that ran, I feel they have all selfishly gave their self to the university. And it's just a point to recognize that. I was in a runoff against the male purple side leader, who is very popular, and I was a bit scared about the results, but I am happy about how the results turned out because it's a chance that I just really needed the support on my side, and they really came through for me, and they voted for me as gold leader, and they voted for me as a candidate for Miss Montevallo, and I'm just so appreciative for all their support. And everyone else, all my friends outside the gold side, purple side, everyone, just thank you so much.
Let's see. Has there been any struggles as has you had any struggles with college and all these, different stuff that you're involved in? Has there been any, real struggles you've had to go through with all of these different organizations?
If I said it wasn't, I'll be telling a lie. My major is very time consuming. It's a lot required of me. I take more classes than the average student. In one semester, I have 12 classes. And it's a lot. A lot of those are 1 hour credits. A lot of those are 0 credit hours, but I still have to do them. Having to go to recitals, being in rehearsals, having performances, it's a lot on top of all the other stuff I'm involved in. Somehow it works. I'm a very stressful person. I may not be a person that a person may necessarily want to be around sometimes, but somehow it gets done, and it's by the support of my friends and people willing to help me in those times of adversity when I need it the most.
How do you deal with your stress?
Sometimes I just try to let it. That's a good question. I just try to take moments to be by myself and just try to get everything that's going on in my life in order. Not saying that it's out of order, but things that need to be prioritized over others. Like my schoolwork is pretty high at the top of my list. And then all my other organizations fall into place. It just depends on what is needed at that time and if I have time to hold off on things that aren't as pressing as the others.
Did you mention any of your organizations that you're involved in outside of Montevallo School?
I have not. Currently, I'm serving as president of the Alabama Music Educators Association Collegiate Division, and I'm also the music director at Montevallo Presbyterian Church.
Alrighty. I think that should be it for right now. And if I think of any more,